Hello, and welcome to Handled-ish, Productivity for the Imperfect, a weekly podcast for those who want to elevate their productivity but are not looking for perfection. I'm your host, Betsy Hayes, and I'm here with my special guest, Jan Edwards, my dear friend. Thank you for being here
Hello,
today.
hello. Thank you.
Yay! And we are coming from the beach. We tried really hard on the video to be able to show you the ocean. I will take a photo of the wonderful creative contraption that we have put together to give you this view. And hopefully everything will work out. And this is episode 50. So
50. And when did you start this, Bets?
on January 9th, 2024. So feeling especially happy and giving myself a gold star because 50 feels significant.
50 is huge. And I mean, you consistently have given us aha moments all year long. So yay.
Aw, thank you.
Congrats.
Thanks.
Congrats.
I am very excited. So cheers to 50 more. And today's topic is a different way to look at intentions. So a couple weeks ago, we talked about resolutions versus intentions, and Jan has a very fun spin on what she's thinking about this year. So we were having a conversation earlier, and I said, let's record this. And so anyway, so yeah. So let's talk a little bit about like why you kind of started looking at this differently.
Okay. I don't know about you, and I don't know about you, Bets, but I have made resolutions from the time my children were small. And every year it'd be a big deal. We'd write out our New Year's resolutions and an action plan and on and on and on. And I never followed any of my resolutions. And then I started thinking, oh, I didn't do that. And I started feeling negative thoughts about myself. So I thought, why am I setting myself up for, non-validation on getting these resolutions done? So I've been thinking about this, and there are a lot of things I want to get done every day in 2025. So I started thinking about intentions, like Bets is talking about. And I want to have intentions for the day, not a resolution for the year. I'm just going to take it day by day. And I don't have a checklist. I know checklists are great, and I love that Betsy does this so efficiently and helps us get things done. She's a checklist queen. One thing I love about her, but I doesn't necessarily work for me. So I have intentions, and when I meditate before I go to sleep, and in the morning when I wake up, I kind of know where I want my day to go, and so I intend to do this. I intend to. If I don't, I'm not judging myself and setting myself up for failure.
I love that. And so you are, from what I'm hearing, you're not keeping a running tab. This is just daily things that you want to do on a regular basis. And if you do them, awesome, right? And if you don't, the next day is a clean slate, right?
Exactly.
We're not worrying about what happened the day before.
Exactly. And then what I'm hoping, and I'll keep you guys posted, that my intentions will become my habits.
Mm.
And Bets knows one of my favorite sayings is, we are what we repeatedly do. Then what is it? We are what we repeatedly do.
Excellence then is a habit.
Yeah, excellence then becomes a habit. We are what we repeatedly do. Is that not true? Aren't you what you repeatedly do? So I am just excited about this. And hopefully I'm going to get these habits for my intentions that are going to become part of my life and make my life better. Yeah. So maybe it might work for you.
I love that. And so we're just literally starting at the granular level, right? And I think that's one of the things that I'm loving about this conversation because, like you said, there's this pressure to have these lofty goals and to literally like change everything about us at the beginning of the year. And I don't know about y'all, but I'm pretty sure that most of us are fairly okay currently.
Yes.
And, granted, we all want to grow and evolve and, become the best versions of ourselves, but we don't want to throw the baby out with the bathwater and feel like we have to do everything differently. And so I love just, here we're going to get up. Our intention is to do these things, and then we will intend to do them again the next day. And then, 30, 60, 90, 6 months from now, it'll be fun to look back and be like, okay, these were the things I wanted to do regularly. Am I doing them? Have I changed, right? Because this whole thing does evolve. Because I don't know about you, but I've had resolutions where when I started, I was like, ew, I actually don't want this in my life.
Right.
Or maybe not now, right?
Not now.
Maybe
Yeah.
not now. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. So will you share a little bit about some of those things you're wanting to do on a
Yes.
daily basis?
Yes, I will. I want, okay, bets again. We're yin and yang on this. Excuse me, but I want to get some order in my life. So I've sort of had a freewheeling last 2 years, 2.5 years, where I just did what I wanted to do. And so now I have some real goals that I have that I want to accomplish. So I know I have to have structure. So structure is one of my intentions. So I know what I'm going to do every morning when I wake up, and that what I need to get done within certain periods. And so this is what my intention is. And I'm pretty excited about, getting up 20. I'm sure many of you have read about that. If you haven't, it's the first hour of your day when you do 20 minutes to maybe exercise, 20 minutes to maybe meditate or think about something, 20 minutes to learn something. So 20 is really important for me. In fact, I was able to run a mile by just getting up and doing, those laps every morning over just a 2-week period, guys. So 2020 is a big one for me for this year.
Love it. Love it. And then it starts your day immediately with structure.
Yes.
Right? Because
right?
then you've already done some things that you feel good about.
Exactly. And bingo, that's the key.
Mm-hmm.
You already feel so good about yourself. How could you not have a great day? Look what you've accomplished in your first hour.
Love that, which means probably not looking at your phone.
Yes.
Prior to starting that, because I don't know about y'all, but distraction is a thing when we have our phone too close to us in the morning. Yeah.
No. That's like not a thing. The phone doesn't even get involved unless if you want to clock yourself on your exercise or something like that. But yeah, so that's one that I'm really looking at. And I'm thinking that I'm just going to try it. And then if it doesn't work, I'll try something else. But I got a feeling it's going to work from all the research I've read about it and everything. Because I know I've already seen I can run a mile now.
See? And you couldn't 2 weeks ago.
No.
So there you go. See? Yes, I love it. I love it. I'm thinking, man, I really want to walk a mile. But, as we know,
you're doing
we're in recovery, right? No, it's all good.
Doing so good. Yeah.
It's all good. No, I will be walking a mile hopefully soon. Hopefully within the first month of the year. Maybe that can be one of my intentions.
Oh, that will be one of your intentions. I
like that.
I like that.
I like that.
So what are some of your intentions? What are you thinking you might want to do?
Well, we did talk about the phone first thing, and over the holiday break, I really have created a very bad habit of taking a deep dive. And I have my New York Times app, and I, started this with like a Wordle thing in the morning, which was really healthy and lovely for me. I completely abandoned Wordle over the last couple of weeks and just have gone to news and some of the other fun things. It's not like I only look at the dark part of the app, but that will take a big part of my morning before I even get out of bed. And then I'm thinking, oh my gosh, now do I have time to do this or blah, blah, blah. So I bought a $10 alarm clock from Target.
Good.
My oldest daughter's suggestion. So thank you, Samantha. And I'm going to have that be my alarm clock. So my phone is actually going to live in the other part of the house until I have finished whatever my morning things are, which of course will include my physical therapy exercises, because again, I have created because my life has been so weird, right?
Yeah.
I'm partial medical leave, I'm working from home, but not full time, anyway, just started PT. Well, I mean, it's been like 7 weeks now, so it feels like I just started. But anyway, I haven't created this structure for my day, which of course I'm going to have to do when I go back to campus and actually in a very short amount of time. And so I want to be able to do my PT exercises before I leave for work.
Absolutely.
Right? Yeah. I want to do that. I love reading nonfiction in the morning, per your thoughts.
Late night. Yeah.
Yeah. I fiction at night, nonfiction in the morning is kind of my vibe. And I love that we're a little different than that.
I like that. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. For me, if I read nonfiction at night, I feel like I have to make notes or start implementing. And it's kind of this, I have to hold it all in my head. Whereas fiction, I'm just enjoying. And anyway, so that's fun. So yeah, so those are a couple things for me. Switching from the phone waking me up to the alarm
I
clock.
think that's huge for all of us because I used to be like that. I would just get into that news thing, and no, not anymore. I just do the recaps now, and
Mm-hmm.
it feels good.
Mm-hmm.
Feels better.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So yeah, these are time wasters that we need to look at and and manage.
Mm-hmm.
If you
Yeah.
don't manage your time will manage you, and we know that
Amen.
for a
Yes.
fact.
Yes.
So
Yes. Yes.
yeah.
So those are some of the things I'm thinking about. So anything else that you're thinking about from an intention? We've talked about languages. I'm wondering if that is leaking into the list because that's
Well,
come up on and off over the
yeah,
last couple of years.
yeah. Well, we are just thinking about trying to learn Spanish, and just to learn because my son set the intention to learn Spanish, and he's fluent in Spanish now. He took it to the extreme, moving to all Spanish-speaking countries, but I just want to learn 5 words a day. I feel like if I do that, my vocabulary is going to increase. I just want to be able to converse a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm working on that. Writing is another one of my intentions. And I think anything that you want to do, again, going back to that quote, you repeatedly do. So I have to write every day. This isn't, whoops, this isn't something that is negotiable. So my intention is I will write every day. I'm not going to beat myself up if I don't make a 2 hour or a 3 hour goal. But as long as I do it every day, I am going to see progress, compounding returns. I mean, it's just amazing. Compounding interest gives you such vast returns. Same in our lives.
Mm-hmm, absolutely. And there's actually a really great book called The Compound Effect that talks about
Oh,
habits
awesome. Yeah,
and the little, even if you wrote 10 minutes a day, right, you would make significant
exactly.
progress over a fairly short period of time rather than sometimes I think we look for these big chunks of time to magically drop in our laps
Right.
on these things that are maybe not have specific deadlines, right? There maybe are personal deadlines, which means if they happen this month it's great, but if they happen next month the world will not end,
Right.
no one will be mad at us, anything
Yeah.
like that. And so we want to have these big chunks of time, and most of us don't have
Don't
big
have
chunks of
big chunks.
time
None of us,
fall
I
in our
think.
laps, right?
Yeah,
Yeah. And
no.
I think you're absolutely correct. I
Right.
don't think anyone does. So, a little bit every day gets really big results, like my PT exercises.
Absolutely. I mean, she
Excuse
can
me.
do these squats like you can't believe.
Woo woo. Yep, I've been working on those. So,
Well, I have a funny one, guys, and I don't know how many of you guys can do pull-ups
mm,
or chin-ups. But my goal is just, again, I'm starting out slow. 1 mile, I want to be able to do one pull-up. And so every day I hang from the bar and I see that I get a little bit closer to being able to pull up. So I'll keep you guys posted on that. Again, compounding interest. You just do it every day, and all of a sudden you see
yeah, you see big results. Yes.
exactly.
Yes.
So
And
that's
again,
another
if there's a
intention.
day where you don't have to hang, you're just, I mean,
Yeah.
based on what you're sharing, I love it. You're just clean slating it
Yes.
every day.
I'm not going to beat myself up
And yeah,
because that is so counterproductive to our progress
it is.
and to our souls. And that's what I think resolutions might be.
Yeah, soul killing.
Yeah.
No
Soul
offense
killing.
to the person who invented resolutions,
Yeah.
or maybe offense. I don't know. Maybe we are trying to be offensive because, yeah,
Yeah.
who wants to do something that's going to kill your soul?
None of us.
No, and doesn't feel good, right? It doesn't feel good to feel bad
No.
about ourselves.
To constantly be critiquing ourselves.
No. And I read there's actually an official Quitters Day that's some period of time from January 1st to the day that most people quit on their
Oh, I'm sure
resolutions.
that there is. Absolutely.
And I thought, oh my gosh, that is so horrible
That is so
that
horrible.
there's something that's called Quitter's Day, because talk about feeling bad
Talk about
yourself.
really
It's
negative
like, well,
branding.
right?
Yeah.
So yeah, so even if I don't, today might be Quitter's Day, who the heck knows? But we are anti-Quitter's Day. We are all about figuring out the few things we want to do, right?
We are intention day.
I love that. Every day
is an intention day.
Every day.
It's like your vitamin. Just take your intentions and figure it out and go with it.
I love that. And actually, vitamins are one of my intentions. So it'll be a double little. I take vitamins, but again, through this weird last 6 months of my life, a lot of my because of my routines and structure, my vitamin consumption has not been consistent. So that has been,
Okay.
something that I'm so looking forward to, is really thinking about this in a structured way, because obviously that also fills my soul with joy,
Yes,
is to
it
have
does. It
structure,
does. And I love that about you. Yeah.
and how I can, again, start these things. And, maybe if I take my vitamins 5 out of 7 days, it's way better than the current plan. So there
Okay.
we
I
go.
can tell you guys about another intention that I have, a couple of others. Facials.
Loving that.
Do you guys take time for yourself? I'm going to start facials now.
Okay.
Also, I want to write letters of gratitude to people who have mattered in my life. And I don't know if any of you folks have done that, but I've read a lot about it. Have I ever done it? No, but it is my intention to do that this year because I think it's just so, the person from all the research I've read on this feels so good just to be acknowledged.
Absolutely.
But even more importantly, you feel important because you have shared, how this person touched your soul and heart.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a lovely way to kind of look at your life
Mm-hmm.
because people, and you take it, you chunk it,
Yep.
right? Break it down into my early days, when I was a little kid, like who impacted me. And they don't have to still be walking the earth,
Yeah.
And so I've started compiling my list and I'm already up to I wanted to do a letter a day. It doesn't necessarily have to be that many. People start it with like a letter a month or whatever. But I've already got I think 125, 30 people on my list. And that's just, I'm not even past 30. So, yeah. So I think it's going to be a fun intention
Mm-hmm.
that I have.
Well, I think just making the list would have very
It does.
soul affirming value,
Exactly.
right? It's like, oh my gosh, I think sometimes, I don't know, sometimes we are not really cognizant of all the people that have, been so good to us. And, making a list like that, I think would make everybody feel pretty good, because it's like, look at all these people who have helped me and supported me and touched my
Right.
life in a positive way. I think making the list has value.
It so has value. Yeah, it's true. That's a very good point. And like Betsy and I, both educators, when our students
Oh,
would, thank you. That's what made me really start thinking about it because I thought, wow, that means so much to me.
mm-hmm.
I know it does to you too, Bets. And so maybe that's a place you could start.
There we
Who
go.
was an educator who touched your heart, who helped you, because it takes a village and we, it's a funny phrase to say you're a self-made person. I don't believe that is
No.
an accurate phrase.
Nope. Nope. It takes a village for all of us.
Right.
And what obviously any note from a student, sharing impact is so valuable. And what is, also a wonderful thing is when you get a note from a student that you really didn't know
Exactly.
that you had such an impact, because maybe it wasn't obvious when they were in your classroom.
Yes.
Maybe the light bulb didn't go off for a year or 5 years or 10 years later. Yeah, that's spectacular. And it is so for all of this former students of Jan and mine that did that, please know that it made a huge impact.
Thank you.
And we expect to hear from the rest of you. No, I'm just kidding. But it does, so if you have someone that maybe you don't know if they know what their impact was, maybe start with that, right? And make them, realize that they were such an important part of your life.
Right.
I promise you will make them feel better, but obviously, like you said, it'll be such a wonderful exercise for you.
It will. And I think that, again, these people don't have to still be walking the earth.
True.
I mean, I think we could all go through, our elementary school
Mm-hmm.
and remember the teachers that really made us feel like, wow, we could do this.
Yeah.
And you don't remember what they said or, how they said it. You just remember how they made you feel. And oh my gosh, that's what it's all about.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, so that might be a good intention for you to have. And then I also think, I don't know about you, Bets, or you or your audience, I think it's just so fun to see where you've been.
Yeah.
And with your intentions where you want to go.
Mm-hmm.
So I just think that's a great exercise.
Yeah. Yeah. You can reflect and think about, reflection, as we all know, is incredibly valuable. I think it can make us, really be much more grateful, right?
Gratitude.
Gratitude is the key. And I don't think we've talked a lot about my thank you process that I have, and maybe
Oh, well, let's hear this.
I will do
A
a
future podcast.
yeah, future
Okay.
podcast. But one of the things that I really try to do is at the end of every day, I send, texts or emails or
You
whatever
do. I like that process you do. Yeah.
to anyone who's done something that day. And the reason I do it that day is Jem mentioned, then, it's I know it's done. And again, it's not 7 days a week, 365, but probably 300 days a year. I do this, and it's just
Yeah.
a little like, gosh, I really appreciated you having my back at that meeting,
Yeah.
to really big things, to, personal things like, gosh, thanks for lunch, or,
Yeah.
even if you tell someone thank you in person, I think it's just extra good just to double back with something in writing. And again, it can be a text or an email or whatever. I don't write letters. I know that you,
I like letters.
but that's one of the things I
Yeah,
want to
these
bring
could be,
back.
that's right. These could be
But these could be
emails or
very,
text
yeah.
to the person. It doesn't
Mm-hmm.
have to be a letter. Bets, I know you used to do a thing with your students. I don't know if you still do, where you would have them write a 5-year letter to themselves.
Mm-hmm.
Can you tell us a little about that?
Yeah, it's actually, I hope this website is still in business, but it was called futureme.org.
Yeah.
And I had the students write a letter to their self in 5 years. And this was actually something that I did in the ethics class. That's so funny that you say that, because I'm actually going to do it again this semester. We're bringing it back. So those of you in my class, be ready. But what it was in my first iteration was I told them to think about, what they thought their lives would be like in 5 years.
I love it.
And
the
so,
5-year plan.
yeah, there we go.
Yeah.
Dear Marvin, by now you're living in blah, 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 and you're working blah, 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 and you have 4 dogs or whatever, right? So it was always a little bit like life planning, the 1st part. And then for the second part, because of course we want it to have an academic value, is like a reminder of all the things they learned in the media ethics class. Is like, as I learned in Professor Hayes's ethics class, here's what I'm doing as an ethical practitioner. And so the idea, right, is just to remember all of the lessons that they learned, plus have a little fun on their, 5-year plan.
Right.
And then you just select a date, you hit submit, and then 5 years later, the website emails it back to you. So obviously,
oh my God, that's I didn't know it emails it back to you.
Yeah, and the students, not everyone, but every once in a while, I'll get a note. Oh my gosh, I just got my future me, and it was hilarious.
Blah, blah, blah,
right? Yep, there you go. Yep, yeah. So,
Oh,
and
wow.
everyone can do it, especially if the website's still around. I haven't taught the class in several years. But
what's it again?
It's called futureme.org.
Okay.
And it's literally for that purpose, to send a letter to future you. And you don't have to do it 5 years. You can do it 6 months. You could do it a year. You could do it 10 years.
This might help with our intention plan.
There you go.
Yeah. And no harm, no foul.
No,
if you did it, you did it. If you didn't, I think it helps to crystallize your intention.
I think writing anything down is helpful.
I agree. I like that.
So it's fun. Yay. Yay, yay. So any final thoughts before we wrap up today?
We are what we repeatedly do. Excellence then is not an act, but a habit. That's the quote.
There we go.
Let's go to our intentions, creating good habits, and have the life, the 2025 we want.
There we go. Which is kind of the whole idea, right? Yeah. That's the whole idea of even thinking about this stuff at the beginning of the year. So at the end of the year, when we are toasting Happy New Year on December 31st, 2025, we will look back and go, wow, you know what? I created some intentions that led to some habits that led to some really great things. And what am I going to do for 2026? Exactly. So it'll be fun to reflect on that. So good. Well, first of all, thank you, Jan, for being here today.
It's great to join y'all.
Yay. So grateful. And, let us know what you think. What are your thoughts on all of this? And what do you intend to do? And what has worked for you in the past, right? At Betsy Hayes on all social. BetsyAHayes.com is my website. Tune in next week for the next episode of Handled-ish, Productivity for the Imperfect. And until then, you know what I'm going to say? Take care and be kind to yourself. I'm using my teacher voice on purpose because you are doing way better than you think you are. Trust us, right?
Surf's up. We got to go.
Woo! Okay, bye-bye.